All right guys, up first in the isometric circuit, we got horse stance. So in this one, there's a couple different ways you can do it, but essentially we'll wanna have a wide stance. In this version that I'm doing right now, my toes are pointing forward, but we can also angle them outward. But the idea is to drop those hips down, try to have a 90-degree bend if you can with your legs, and then just get into a nice meditative state. As it starts burning more and more, really connecting deeply to your breath, developing that mind muscle connection, making sure you're equal on both sides. And really just drop into that meditation. Should definitely be burning by now. Maybe a little bit of shaking in the legs. Solid. It's 1 minute. Let's get on to the next exercise. All right, now on this one we're doing glute bridge. So the idea here is to have when your arms are nice and straight down to the ground, you want your fingertips to be pretty close to your heels, if not touching, just an inch or two away. So you want to lift the glutes up towards the sky, really contract the glutes, pushing the knees apart, and then just hold and meditate. The harder that you push the knees out, the more activation you're going to get in your glute medius here, sides of the glute. And the more that you flex upward, more contraction you'll get in the glute max. Now feel free to also just do, 5 to 10 second holds at a time in single leg glute bridge. A little bit more of a challenge. Just make sure you do even amount of time on both sides if you do this. If not, just hold that glute bridge for the whole minute. Nice deep conscious breathing. And that's it. All right, this next exercise, we're doing isometric Superman. So we're just gonna hold this to the best of our ability for this 1 minute. Extending in both directions, reaching the arms forward in front of you, reaching the legs back behind you. Keeping those glutes nice and active, hamstrings lifted up towards the sky. Now we're about halfway through. We're gonna switch up, bring the arms behind us, lift that trunk a little bit higher. Squeezing the glutes, lifting up the legs, lifting up the torso. Contracting every muscle in your posterior chain, back of your body. Nice deep breathing. And there you go, 1 minute. Next up, we got the classic plank. So we're just gonna keep this nice and simple. Standard form, keeping the back nice and flat. The one thing I want you to really focus on is flexing kind of every single muscle in your body, not just your core, but your glutes, your legs, both your quads and your hamstrings. Shoulders nice and active and strong, flexing your biceps and your triceps. Full body isometric squeeze. Flex to the point that your body starts trembling a little bit, or a lot of it. And there you go. 1 minute complete. Next one, we're gonna do the obliques with the side plank. Same concept as the plank we just did. Want to really squeeze the whole body, not just the core here. Flexing strong through your legs, through your hand, through your elbow, through your shoulder. Everything fully activated and flexed. We're gonna do 30 seconds on each side. Nice deep, smooth breathing. Good, that's 30 seconds. Quickly switch and straight into the other side. Keeping that oblique a little bit lifted up. We don't want to exaggerate, but don't let it dip down. Keep that nice and active, nice and straight, whole body flexed. And there you go. 30 seconds each side for 1 minute total. All right, in this one we're doing the hollow hold. So only your sacrum is on the ground. Your low back can touch a tiny bit, but we don't want that mid back on the ground. Keep that lifted. Shoulders down and back. Pecs flexed together. Legs flexed together. And this one's gonna be tough, especially after all those previous exercises. So whenever you need a quick break, 2, 3, 4 seconds, 5 seconds max, right back into it. That's good, deep breathing. Quick breaks, 2, 3 seconds max. Doing your best effort for 1 minute. Strong. Very nice. All right, the last but not least of the isometrics is the wall sit. So I'm doing this with my heavy band, the best bands that I created here. So main key here is to keep it at 90 degrees, this knee bend, and to keep the knees steadily driving out. We want the arches of the feet a little bit lifted, not exaggerated that they lift off the ground, but we don't want the collapsing in of the arches of the feet. Same thing with the low back really flat to whether you're on a wall or a pole like I am. Keep that low back nice and flat. And again, drop into that meditative state, breathing deeply, feeling more and more of your muscles activate as the time goes on. If you need a quick break on these ones, just slide up real quick, flex real quick, 2 to 5 seconds, slide back down, and hold. And there we go. So there you have it, is your isometric circuit. We're gonna finish off with hanging on the bar, and then that'll be it. All right guys, and this one we're gonna keep it really simple. We're just doing a hang from a bar. This is really good for the shoulders. Decompresses the shoulders, stretches out the lats. Really strengthens your grip and your core, especially if you activate your core a little bit. We're just gonna do our best effort for 1 minute. If your grip ever starts failing, if you get really tired, just rest for 2 to 5 seconds max, shake out your hands, and get right back into it. You want to keep those breaks super minimal if needed at all. Feel free to bring in a little bit of your gentle movement, rotate the spine, maybe pick up the knees a little bit to activate the core. Mostly just still. Breaks. Goal will be to eventually build up to 1 minute straight without any break.